Alrighty guys, how we doing today? North American Racing updates here, and basically what we're going to do, since we're 1 week out from the 24 hours at Daytona, we're going to go through each team, each driver, each everything, and figure out, and tell you who I think is going to go out and do good, my opinions on drivers lineup, all this awesome stuff. So, let's go and get into it. So with Tequila Patron ESM and the Nissan DPI, we have Scott Sharp, Ryan DL, Luis Felipe Durrani, and Brendan Hartley. Now, pretty similar lineup to what they had last year, but Pippa Durrani's not there, and it's Luis Felipe Durrani. Never heard that name in recent times, but definitely heard of Scott Sharp, Ryan DL, and Brendan Hartley. So, and then in the Mustang Sampling Racing Cadillac DPI, we have Barbosa, Felipe, and Albuquerque. I think this is going to be a great group. I think this is going to be a real good group right here. Pretty almost exact similar lineups. So then we have Ricky Taylor, Jordan Taylor, Max Angela, and Jeff Gordon in the Konica Minolta Cadillac DPI VR, and of course the Cadillac DPI. So really strong lineup here. You got the two Taylor brothers, you got Angelelli, and of course you got the almighty Jeff Gordon. I really like that team. I have a feeling that they're going to be strong. I think they're just going to be at a strong, maybe first couple stint team right there. I mean, they have a lot of good people to go around. Moving on, we have the 13 Rebellion timepieces, LMEO connectors, Northwire Inc. Orca, with Sebastian Buemi, Nick Highfield, Neil Johnny, and Stefan Zarzan. I've heard of Buemi and Hatfield, but I've never heard, and Zarzan, but I've never heard of Neil Jenny, so that'll be interesting. I really like, I don't know, I really liked how the Orcas performed, but I don't think Rebellion's gonna get the win. That's my prediction. So then we have in the 22 other Tequila Patron ESM, we have Ed Brown, Jans Van Overbeck, Bruno Senna Lally, and Brendan Hartley. I don't think that's a right, but I don't know. Again, familiar names, and then there's also the names that I've never really heard of yet. Moving on to the number 31 Wheelan Engineering Cadillac DPI, we have Dan Cameron, Eric Curran, Mike Conway, Seb Morris. Holy crap, I have not heard Mike Conway's name in forever. Wow. I've not heard that name in forever. Strong lineup coming back with Cameron and Curran. Seb Morris, I've never heard of him, so that'll be an interesting lineup to see. Next we have the number 52 PR1 Matheson Motorsports, MY Von Earl Prisma Ligier. We have Michael Gouache, Jose Gutierrez, RC Enerson, and Tom Kimber Smith. The only two I recognize out of that is RC and Tom. I never really heard of the other one, so I can't really give you my input yet. So we have in the number 55 Mazda DPI, we have Tristan Nunez, Jonathan Bomarito, and Spencer Piggott. Great lineup right there. They did fantastic last year. I can't wait to see it again. And then, and their teammate, the number 70, we have Mazda DPI. We have Tom Long, Joel Miller, and IndyCar's James Hinchcliffe. Now this will be interesting because Tom Long and Joel Miller, love them, are Mazda's big guys. But having James Hinchcliffe in there, I think is going to give them a boost because Hinch is just great. Just great. So then the number 81 Dragon Speed Orca, they topped a lot of the Roar Before the 24s. Oop, didn't mean to do that. There we go. So we have Herrick Hedman, Nicholas Lamprey, and Ben Hanley and Loic Devol. A bunch of guys I've never heard of, but a bunch of guys that they're apparently really, really fast. And then in the number 85 GDC Miller's Orca, we have Chris Miller, Stephen Simpson, Michal, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name, and Matthias Biche. Ugh. Again, a bunch of people I've never heard of. I've heard JDC before, but I've never heard any of those names. Chris Miller seems pretty familiar, I'm not too sure. But, yeah, moving on. And then the Visit for Florida, Multimatic Riley, you have Goosens, Van der Zande, and Ren Rast. Pretty same lineup. Pretty same lineup there in the number 90. Moving on to the prototype challenge here. We have Starworks Motorsports with Ben Keating, Robert Wickens, Chris Cumming, John Falab, and Remio Rusicchetti. I've heard a couple of these names, like Ben and Chris, but I've never really heard of any of the other twos, or seen any of the other twos for that matter. In bar 1, we have Donya, Buddy Rice, Mark Kivmeen, Chapman Ducot, and Gustav Yakman. Good group right here. I really like Gustav and Buddy Rice. Great drivers. And then the other bar 1 has Tom something, Johnny Mullum, Adam Mirzon, Trent Hindman, and David Chain. Pretty good lineup. I like a couple of those drivers. Never really seen any of them in action, but like them. And then number 38, Performance Tech Motorsports, we have James Finch, Patrick Award, Kyle Masson, and Nicholas Boole. I like Pat Award. I love watching him in the Mazda Red Indy, so he should be real good. So then Starworks Motorsports, we have Scott Mayer, James Dyson, Alex Pow, and Sebastian Saavedra. Wow, I haven't said that name since 2015. Wow, that's a long time ago. Really good lineup. I think they're going to be super strong. My winner, gotta pick up the number 8 Starworks. Moving on to probably my favorite class, my second favorite, or no, this is my favorite class now. So, in the number 3 Corvette, we have Antino Garcia, Jan Magnussen, and Mike Rockefeller. Names that you've heard before if you were here last year. Great group of Corvette. I love the Corvettes, but I don't think they're going to get it since they, I hope they don't explode this year. Or I hope they don't explode next week. That'll be interesting. And then number 4, we have Oliver Gavin, Tommy Milner, and Marcel Fassler. I love all those guys. Great guys. And the 19 BMW RLO, we have Bill Alron, Alex Sims, Augusto Farfus, and Bruno Spengler. I think these are a lot of guys that they had to replace, since a lot of them are racing with other teams this year. I think that will be an interesting group of guys in that BMW. And then we have number 24, we have John Edwards, Martin Tomzik, Nicky Katzberg, and Kuno Whitmer. Names I don't know. Alright, here's the Rizzi Competizione. Number 62, we have Fisichella, James Calado, and Tony Vilander. I love this group of guys. I think they're going to be up there. Now okay, there's another class. I was going to say, hold up, there's only 3 or 4 GTs. Now there's a whole nother list. So these are probably my favorite. These next 4 cars are my favorite group of cars ever. Just because of their lineups. Listen to the first one. We have Dirk Mueller, Joey Hans, Sebastian Bourdais. I love those 3 guys. I love Bourdais. I love watching him in the Indy cars. I love Joey Hand watching him in IMSA. He's great. Number 67, 4GT, we have Ryan Briscoe. Oh, I was confused. The 2 names. Ryan Briscoe, Richard Westbrook, and Scott Dixon. 2 IndyCar guys. Can't wait to watch them. And at number 68, we have Stefan Mucky, Oliver Pla, and Billy Johnson. All guys that run in the UK program. And then in the in the 69, they have Harry Ticknell, Andy Paralux, and Tony Kanaan. I love watching Kanaan. He's probably my favorite IndyCar driver out there. And then number 911 Porsche RSR, we have Patrick Pilet, Dirk Werner, and Frederick Manowecki, the Porsche. And Kevin Estre, Michael Shanks, Lawrence Van Thorn, and then Richard Lites. So, a group of guys in that Porsche. I love seeing Lawrence Van Thorn. My winner, I'm going to pick Ryan Briscoe, Richard Westbrook, Scott Dixon. Now, probably the biggest class ever, is the GT Daytona class. And so here's theirs. The number 11 GRT Grosser Racing Team in a Lamborghini Huracan JT3. We have Christian Emmerich, Rolfman Eichen, Equilizi, Perez Comeback, and Marco Bornolotti. A lot of guys I haven't heard of. I don't know. It'll be interesting. And the 3 GT Racing Lexus is, and the number 14 is Scott Pruitt, Sage Karam, Ian James. I'm glad Sage finally landed a ride somewhere. I don't think he's just ready for IndyCar yet. I just don't think he's ready for IndyCar yet. Scott Pruitt, I love him so much. When he raced for Ganassi, he was my man. And alright, and then in the 15 Lexus, we have Jack Hawksworth, Robert Allen, Austin Cindric, and Dominic Farnbacher. A group of guys that I love. I love Hawksworth, I love Cindric, and I love Farnbacher. Never really heard of that Robert Allen. And then number 16, Lamborghini Huracan for Change Racing, we have Corey Lewis, Grinch Drumul, Kaz Garla, and Brett Sandberg. I love Corey Lewis. I love how he races. Not really too familiar with all the other guys. And the number 18 we have in DAC Motorsports with the Lamborghini Huracan. We have Emmanuel Anissis, Zach Clayman. I know that's supposed to be Zach Clayman DeMello. I'm not too sure. And then Anthony Marzi. Never heard of any of these. I've never heard of DAC Motorsports. And we have in the next Lamborghini, number 21, for Conrad Motorsports, we have Marco Manapoli, Mark Bessing, Lucas Stoles, Lance Winsley, and Franz Conrad. So I'm assuming Franz Conrad has to do something with that team. I don't think Lamborghini's going to get it done this year. I just don't think they're going to get him. The number 23, Alex Job Racing, we have Audi. We have Bill Sweedler, Townsend Bell, Frank Montecalvo, and Pierre Kaffer. I love Townsend Bell. I love him when he races, but I'm not too sure about any of the others too. And then number 27, we have Lawrence DeGeorge, Cedric Zimbazuli. Oh, it's moving on me. Just wait. Okay. Paolo Rubiete, Luca Pisani, and Raffaele Gimarade. For Dream Motorsports and a Lamborghini Huracan at number 27. Not really too familiar with any of these names. So with Allegro Motorsports, that's a name I recognize right there. Porsche 911 GT3R. We have Carlos Descozueta, Daniel Morad, Jesse Lazar, Michael De Quezda, and Michael Christensen. I recognize Michael Christensen. Don't quote me on this, but I think he was a Porsche, or not a Porsche. I think he was a Corvette driver. I'm not too sure, but we're gonna don't quote me on that, but I think he was. I'm not too sure. And then in the number 29 Audi RA LMS GT3, we have in Monza Plus by Land Motorsport, we have Connor De Filippi, Christopher Mize, Jules Goron, and Jeffrey Schmidt. Not too familiar with any of those names. And the number 33 Rally Motorsports in the Mercedes AMG GT3, we have Ben Keating, Jerome Bleckenmolden, Mario Farnbacher, and Adam Christodoulo. Ben Keating, they have him marked as a PC driver. That's weird. Heard of Mario Farnbacher before. I think this team's going to be a pretty good lineup. I think that's going to be a really good lineup. And the number 46 we have for another Lamborghini. We have Emily Buzine, Fabio Bambi, Emmanuel Collard, and Francisco Pramber. Never really heard that team before, different than what I've heard in the past, but I think it's going to be an interesting one. And number 48, this is a long class. In the number 48, we have Brian Sellers, Madison Snow, Bryce Miller, Andrea Calderetti, Don Von McDuck. For Paul Miller Racing in the Lamborghini Huracan. I've heard of Bryce Miller. I think this group's going to be pretty good. I think they did pretty good in the Roar. Moving on with the second Mercedes AMG GT3. Second one, we have Cooper McNeil, Gunnar Janette, Shane Van Gisberen, and Thomas Jagger. Not too familiar with any of these. I've heard of that Cooper McNeil. I think he raced last year. I think he was a Porsche factory driver at one point. Don't quote me on any of this. In the 51 Ferrari 488, we have Peter Mann, Mazu Medeni, Astra Pierguidi, and David Rion. Peter Mann. Pippin Man? Question? Pippin Man's something, I don't know. Brother, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're related. Now we have in the Core Autosport Porsche 911 GT3R, we have Jonathan Bennett, Colin Brown, Patrick Long, and Nick Johnson. I've heard of Patrick Long and Colin Brown. I love him. He was great in the PC class. I love him. I think that's going to be a very strong group right there. In the 54, in the 57, Stevenson Motorsports Audi, we have Lawson, Archenbach, Andrew Davis, Matt Bell, Robin Linton. I've heard of those last three. Another pretty strong lineup. I like that lineup. In the 59, Matthew Porsche, we have Steve Smith, Reinhard Regner, Harald Poschvek, Steve Mueller, and then TBT, Sven Mueller. Pretty good groups of guys. I've heard a couple of those guys, but not a lot. 61, Lamborghini Huracan, we have Christian Elgart, Rolf Ignan, Roberto Pampani, and Milos Plavec. Really good group. I like them. In the 63 Scuderia Corsa Ferrari 488, we have Christina Nielsen, Azerda Balzan, Matteo Cressoni, and Sam Bird. A great group of people right there. Great group of drivers. I think they're going to be up there. In the number 73 Park Place Motorsports, and then Porsche 911 GTR, we have Patrick Lindsay, Georg Burgmaster, Matthew McMurray, and TBD. Really good groups of guys. I wonder who that to be determined is going to be. Not too sure. And then in the 75 Sun Energy Mercedes AMG, we have Kenny Halbu, Borisset, Tristan Vautier, Mauro Engel. Borisset, I love him. He is probably one of my favorite drivers ever. And then Tristan Vautier, of course, great. Here are the two lineups that I'll talk a little more in depth with the Acuras here. In the 86 Michael Shank Racing Acura NSX, we have Jeff Siegel, Osnager Jr., Tom Dreyer, and Ryan Hunter-Ray. Great groups of guys. All as well. Ozzy is going to be great. He's going to be great. Ryan Hunter-Ray, IndyCar, of course. He's got to be good. He is good. And then number 93, we have Acura. We have Andy Lally, Catherine Legg, Mark Wilkins, and Graham Rahal. I love Rahal. I love Hunter-Ray. I love all of them. Just got three more here. And then number 96, Turner Motorsports, BMW M6 GT3, we have Justin Marks, Jen Zena, Maxime Martin, and Jesse Corone. Love Justin in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I think that's going to be a great group. Paul Delana and the Aston Martin Vantage. We have Paulo Delana, Pedro Lamy, Matthias Lauda, and Marco Sorensen. Great group. Can't wait to see that. And last but not least, TRG Sport Porsche 911 GT3. We have San Diego Creed, Mike Hulbin, Wolf Hensler, Jan Hayden, and Timothy Pappas. Great group. So, here's my predictions. We are going to have, and prototypes, we're going to have Dragon Speed and for the win. GTA LM, we're going to have the number 67 for GTA. And then PC, we're going to have Starworks, and then GTD. I think it is going to be I don't know. I think the 86 accurate in SX. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and so like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys probably midweek with our going into the weekend. I'm gonna keep live updates throughout the weekend. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Go IMSA.